All right, family. We black once again. It's on with the general. We got some fire today. We're gonna be talking about where was North America's native black population raised during the Ice Age, which wasn't that long ago over here. We're gonna talk about that. Very interesting. Dealing with these the indigenous population over here. We want to talk about it. Before we get started, make sure you get over to my Patreon link. Is at the top of the chat. KingSeti.com online marketplace, official General Seti products, t-shirts, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, DVDs. The Patreon got over 500 exclusive live streams. So, that's all flamethrower. Get over there, check it out. Also, we got exclusive videos for memberships, General Seti's page, Sarah Susan Seti's page. You check it out, get access to those exclusive videos, high powered visuals on there. And make sure you get it. We got the 24-hour live streams, General Seti, Sarah Susan Seti. Make sure you get his video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share it with your family and friends. Comment, just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. But so we want to talk about this today because we still have to make clarity, and I want people to come, to understand that, yes, we were the first people on this soil. We were the first people on every goddamn soil. You see, so that let's understand that for the record, that we were first on every damn soil except up there in the goddamn Siberia. You see, except up there in Siberia, the coldest goddamn area on the planet. You see, and so there's no misunderstanding that. But we have to understand also that just like anything in the universe, we have a natural habitat. You see, everything has a natural habitat. You understand, that produces that particular thing. You see what I'm saying? In every place on the planet, every place on the planet is not going to produce that. You see, fish natural habitat is the water. You see, you got some fish that is that's freshwater fish. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are dying salt water. You got certain, you're black, but no, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna be specific. See, we're not gonna live in no whirlwind. We're not gonna live in the whirlwind because the universe is specific. You see what I'm saying? The universe is specific in its definition of a thing. And so when we start blurring the lines of proper definition, then you ain't talking about nothing. You just we gonna get you right on up out of here. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Boom. That's all. That was so easy. I love it. I'm like God on this motherfucker. I could just hit the button. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You say I tried to grow a mango tree in South Georgia. It died soon as the winter came. You see, that's real. Everything, you can't take something out of its natural habitat and expect it to perform like it do in its natural habitat. That's just not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? It can survive, it can mutate. You see, it can mutate, but it ain't gonna be. That's just like the elephant. You see the elephant that went in, and when it went into Asia, it mutated, but it became a dumb looking ass elephant, big ass, dumb forehead, and ears is shorter and shit, trunk shorter. You see, so it went in. So certain, we talk about evolution, but you got to also understand de-evolution. You see that you can devolve and shit. You can leave your natural habitat, which is better for you, and go into a lesser habitat. You could survive. You see what I'm saying? But that don't mean you gonna perform at your premium. You see, you're not going to perform at your premium. That's just a fact. And so, my understanding, it's just something that you cannot get out of. You see, you cannot get out of that. That this land, and we could look it up. Let's be clear about it. People don't understand. Let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. How long did the Ice Age last? Since we're going to talk, let's talk. In North America. Okay. How long did it last? We don't need motherfuckers. We're gonna get some raw numbers real quick. Let's get some raw numbers real quick. Let's work. Okay. So the Ice Age as a whole, the Pleistocene epoch, the Pleistocene epoch, it lasted 2.6 million years. From 2.6 million years ago to 11,700 years. So the Ice Age just ended. Okay? The Ice Age just ended 11,700 years ago. Okay? And so it was across North. We're going to discuss where it was. It was damn near almost halfway down the United States. It was damn near halfway. The fucking Great Lakes, that shit come from glaciers. Drug that goddamn the earth up out of there, and the glaciers melt and fill that shit up. So the Great Lakes come from goddamn the glaciers. You see, and it drug a whole lot of the land in Canada and shit. Just drug it, so it got poor soil in a lot of that shit up there. You see, so you talking about damn near halfway down the United States, where you in the ice was they say damn near 2 miles. You see, thick. That's how thick the goddamn ice was. To my understanding, it was 2 miles goddamn thick. So you talking about 11,000, and so because we understand it's winter, you see, and we could tell how cold it get down even to goddamn Texas right now. Do you understand? This is the hottest it's ever been. This is the hottest in 2025 is the hottest year that has ever been on record since 2.6 million years ago. You see. When you understand it was an ice age on this motherfucker. So if you go back, the further you go back, the colder it get. So I just want to, but we already understand how cold it is right fucking now. I keep hearing motherfuckers say that they indigenous. Now, my understanding, see, maybe your definition of indigenous and my definition is two definitions. Because when I think of indigenous, I mean, for some people, it means first person in the land. I don't say indigenous. I just say you first in the land. Because indigenous means, for me, like your original habitat. European people know they come out the cave. That's their original habitat. They don't get the opportunity to say they African because they know good and goddamn well that the way that they look today is no way that a phenotype like that could originate in Africa. Just leave that shit alone. Okay, just leave that alone. I don't want nobody, you understand? We're not gonna have no long conversation about that. So, so it don't mean if you first in the land. I just say you first in the land. And being first in the land gives you damn near all the rights of somebody that was native. Native mean from the very beginning of your people. You see what I'm saying? From the very beginning of your people, we know of no other land that preceded this particular land. As far as this being where your people was known to have, lived and built their societies and things of that nature. You see, so it got to be the, you know, so we talking about from the Genesis, you see, not somebody to end. So I have to say this because I know good and goddamn well. Because even in dealing with anthropology, South America has the oldest bones. They're just, you know, the tropicals, which makes sense. Which makes sense. All the goddamn life is in goddamn the Amazon and shit. You see, got more, you know, the Amazon got more goddamn life than any other rainforest on the planet. Africa comes second. Africa got more of the majestic animals, but you know, we talking about in number, the Amazon got more animals and insects. Well, insects, they about the same with animals, but the Amazon got a whole lot of insects and all type of shit. You know, it's thriving with life. You see what I'm saying? There's no comparison between North America and South America. And really on no continent, when you go into the tropical zone, this is where you find life. You see what I'm saying? This is where you find life on an escalated level. So if you find the majority of life, animal and human life, thriving in these areas, and this is where you find the majority of civilizations in the tropical zone, 30 degrees north to 30 degrees south. You see the tropical zone. This is where you find majority of the great civilizations, such as Southern Egypt, Nubia, Aksum, the Olmec, Angkor Wat, India. You see all of these great Zimbabwe, even Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, I believe, is in the tropical zone. So you find the majority of the great civilizations in the tropical zone, and there's a few right on the outskirts of the tropical zone, such as the Greece, the Rome, and all of that shit. And you can throw Sumeria right outside, just so close that you could just throw it right on in, you know, with the tropical zone. That's how close it is. So we understand looking at life. If all the life is in this area, we not going to be far-fetched in believing that this is where the majority of life started on the motherfucking planet. I'm not about to argue with nobody about that. That shit just makes sense. You know, we just, you know, and people migrate into other areas, and they can be first in the area, you know, and they can have all the rights of somebody that is native to the land. You see what I'm saying? Native to the land, just like I get you know, the example that Matthew Henson, a black man, was the first person to the North Pole, but the nigga was from Maryland. You see what I'm saying? The nigga was from Maryland. He was the first man to the North Pole. And so, I mean, what is the nigga now? Is he a Polarian because he the first nigga that went to the North Pole? He no longer from Maryland. Now he's a Polarian. He's from the North Pole now. Just because he the first, the nigga not from the North Pole. He's the first man at the North Pole. You see, that don't make the North, because he's the first man at the North, that don't make it his natural habitat or where the fuck he come from. You see what I'm saying? And this is where we get lost. Why am I? Because we trying to say that, you know, a lot of people trying to say they not from Africa. I don't see how the fuck you can come up with that. Because if you're not, you're going to have to, you ain't been here that long. You ain't been in North America that motherfucking long. I could tell you that because we already looking at the facts of the Ice Age, you know, 11,700 years ago. And so you already know if it ended it still was cold in a motherfucker then. It was still cold. Then a motherfucker 11,000. So what would, and I can go over what type of, you understand, you know, we talking about weather and just, nigga, know what the fuck is you gonna grow on the land? You see what I'm saying? So most of the areas that you could thrive in in North America would have been, deep south, Florida. You know what I'm saying? You probably can, I don't know if it's stretched, maybe California or some shit like that. But it wasn't too many areas on this continent where you could go. You would have had to go south. You see what I'm saying? That's just like that movie, they had out not too long ago, 2012 and shit, where they showed how the world was ending and that, all the northern areas froze up and they had to go to fucking Africa on that damn movie. They had to go to motherfucking Africa. All them movies, they end up in Africa one way or another because they know that this shit gonna freeze up again. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna freeze up again. That's the reality of the fact. So I just wanted to, put that in play that that this shit just, it just ended. So it's what shaped the Great Lakes, the Great Plains, the glacial valleys, and when that shit started, goddamn melting. You see what I'm saying? So so when it started melting, you already know they had hella fucking floods and shit. There was nowhere to grow no goddamn food in this motherfucker. So you could just get that shit. Many animals went extinct over in this motherfucker. Period. I'm just gonna be 1,000 with you. A lot of animals went extinct. So right there, your food source would have been like, very, very, very skimpy. You see, you wouldn't have had, so I mean, motherfucker would have had to leave up out of the, damn near 2/3 of North America, or even more like 4/5 of North America, motherfucker. You'd have had to leave this motherfucker. You wouldn't have been able to survive on this goddamn continent at that time. You would have been in great distress to have to endure something like that. I mean, most motherfuckers, I done been in, staying in Michigan. I mean, I done been in some brutal motherfucking snowstorms. That's not no damn ice age, though. Ice age is probably, you understand, 3, 4, 5 times even more devastating, or even greater than the worst motherfucking snowstorm. And people got to understand that a snowstorm like that is on the level of like a goddamn tornado, and man, it's on that level. It's on that. A hurricane, it's on that level. That shit could freeze up. Your motherfucking lights go out, nigga. You is in trouble. You see what I'm saying? You is in trouble. It's one thing when you got heat, but it's another thing when the lights go out and nigga is below zero and motherfucking electricity that went off. You is in trouble. You feel what I'm saying? And so you talking about, man, they saying that ice sheets were nearly 2 miles thick in places. All of Canada was under the ice. Much of northern U.S., New York, Michigan, Wisconsin, Montana was frozen. You see, sea levels were 30 to 40 feet lower. You see, 30 to 40 feet lower. Right over here in North America. So the ice sheets rapidly melted from they're saying about 17. The end of the ice age marks the beginning of the Holocene, the warm period we're living in now. You see, the period that we're living in now, 11,700 years ago. So, just to be clear. So we had to figure out. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. I wasn't even paying no attention. I come in and see your bitch ass in here talking crazy. Yeah. We put science up there. Sorry, nigga. I know you think you could get up here, but see, you one of them fake niggas that don't know shit. And you can come up on the internet, nigga, and get up there and talk crazy and shit. But when it comes, see, you the type of nigga that failed out of school. Nigga, you was one of them big dumb niggas that sat up in class, nigga, science class, thumping paper, paper wads and shit and this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have no knowledge, nigga. You failed, nigga. You failed probably from third grade all the way up to motherfucking 11th grade and just dropped out. You see what I'm saying? You thought you could get on a little team and, ain't nobody see, and they ain't filling out no applications online and shit. You see what I'm saying? So you could get away with your ignorancy. But now we putting your ass on blast, nigga. You ain't got nothing to say, nigga. Don't come back up here, nigga. Bring some goddamn facts up here. Where was you at, nigga? Explain to us where the fucking people was at on this goddamn continent. You see what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, people, keep talking about we was here. What was you doing? What was you doing? Where was you at? You see? Show us this. You meaning you was an artistic nigga. No, let him come back. If he come back, let him bring his ass. He ain't coming back with nothing. That's a punk nigga. Yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing. If he come back, let him see if he can say one thing to defend his goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? Because you see when anytime a nigga come like that, they ain't got nothing to say. You see what I'm saying? Just an ignorant ass nigga ain't got nothing to say. And that's what we getting rid of you weak ass niggas. That's just all it is to it. But I had to bring that up, man, because this is necessary that we explain this shit. Matter of fact. So ain't no way you gonna tell me. You see? So even if it ended around 11,700 years, 11,700, motherfuckers didn't just run over here. You know what I'm saying? People didn't just run over to this motherfucker. People still, it took small populations, man, to get over it, compared to the other continents. It's saying, now, let me tell you what this motherfucking ice age was like. Let me tell you what this motherfucker was like. I got some more information on this shit. Yeah. Because I'm watching it. Y'all had to stay on their ass out there, Ray, because I'm more into what I'm looking at. Say extreme cold and harsh environments. We went over that. Most of Canada and parts of the northern U.S. were covered by ice up to 2 miles thick. God damn. Humans live only in ice-free areas, which forced them into the Pacific coast, the Great Plains, the American Southwest, the Gulf of Mexico area. Living conditions were freezing temperatures, sudden climate shifts, limited plant food, short growing seasons. You see, small scattered populations. The continent couldn't support large populations. Okay? The continent couldn't support large populations. Groups were small, 20 to 50 people, highly mobile, rarely encountered other groups, depended on teamwork for survival. Genetic studies show a population bottleneck, meaning only a small number of humans survive through certain periods. So them motherfuckers probably had the same, they probably was goddamn incesting and shit. The goddamn population, the gene pool probably was so goddamn, you probably thought you was looking at the same motherfucker over and over and over. God damn. You see, humans hunted, they say the humans hunted mammoths, mastodons, giant bisons, ancient horses, caribou, giant sloths. A single mammoth could feed a group for months. Their tools included cloven spear points, stone knives, and things of that nature. When the megafauna died out near the end of the ice age, humans had to completely change how they live, forced migrations and travel routes. Ice sheets block travel across most of North America. Ice sheets block travel across most of North America. People could move only through the Pacific coastal route, ice-free beaches, and forests along Atlantic, forests along Alaska and Canada. The ice-free corridor, a narrow passage between glaciers that opened up around 13,000 years ago. So it was. So I mean, you living in turmoil, man. You living in fucking turmoil on this motherfucker, man. Let's just be real. Southern refuge areas like, you know, California, Texas, Mexico, Florida, the Great Basin. These became important survival zones. Okay, shelter and clothing, innovations, survival required advanced skills, shelters, tents made from mammoth hides, caves and rock shelters, wooden or bone frame structures, hearth for heat and cooking, clothing, multi-layered animal skins. Anytime you got a nigga wearing multi-layered animal skins, this motherfucker is lost. His motherfucker done lost his way to home. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no reason for no nigga that got high levels of melanin in his skin to wear multi-level animal skins. And you got melanin, that means you was from a hot area. There's no way you gonna have no goddamn, you know, and high UV rays and shit. You had to have your body out in the UV rays and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Had to. Ain't no goddamn way you gonna, you know, get that dark and you got clothes like that all over your body. You hiding from you hiding from the cold and shit. You know, bone needles for sewing, boots, gloves, all of this shit. Man, this is some crazy ass shit what people believe. Yeah, this is no way possible. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what nobody say. Is no way possible that no indigenous, meaning that they was here from time immemorial. Man, please, man. I don't believe no black people would have came over here. If they did, they was south. They was in the south some damn where. You know, and I'm talking about south. They probably was even further because it get cold in the motherfucker in 2025, and it's the warmest it's ever been. So even those areas, like they saying Florida, they still said it was colder than what it is right now. They saying it could have been from 10 to 20 degrees colder. So that means that shit down there, when the cold came, it was still brutal. And then they get that shit, that wind blowing from Canada today. That motherfucking that wind that blow down from Canada, man, that shit go all the way down south. So imagine when the ice age was on this bitch. Man, please, man. It probably was below zero in certain areas during the wintertime. It probably was below zero in northern Florida and Texas. It probably reached below zero temperatures. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't believe that, man. It just don't make no damn sense for people to believe stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just take Antarctica, man, and use it and say, you know, motherfuckers indigenous to Antarctica. You might as well just say that. An ice age, you might as well just say this bitch was like Antarctica and motherfuckers saying they indigenous. And, you know, you got Antarctica, you know, you talking about all of Canada was frozen and northern Canada. So that's where it ended at. You know what I'm saying? You talking about the Arctic region, not subarctic. This shit right here is subarctic in the winter. It gets subarctic, man. Certain areas up north, man, drop down like 10, 15 fucking degrees below. Or some areas even drop down even colder than that. That's subarctic regions. So imagine during the ice age, man, even the southern areas where it was warm. They also said that, you know, summer was way shorter and that it was 10 to 20 degrees colder than what it is right now. So if it just got down to it got below freeze in Texas damn near every year. Knock their goddamn electricity out. So imagine, man, you talking about zero. You talking about 0 fucking degrees, man, even in the southern regions. And you probably have a short goddamn summer. You see what I'm saying? 2.5 months. You see what I'm saying? It probably get into the 70s and shit. You see what I'm saying? Probably get into the 70s and shit, upper 60s. At nighttime, drop down in this is in some drop down in the 50s and 40s. And oh no. Oh no. Yeah, so yeah, I had to come back. So, people just had to look at that and quit, and that does not negate that our people was to come here, but I'm quite sure they had enough sense. You gonna leave tropical when all you had to do is stay and go south? You mean to tell me people are gonna endure that when all they had to do is go south? You understand what I'm saying? Say it's cold as a bitch outside in Boston right now, cold in a bitch. You see what I'm saying? Cold in the motherfucker, man. Make a motherfucker call off of work. Nigga, if you got a goddamn catch, you make a motherfucker call off of work. Like, man, fuck this, man. I can't get there. You know what I'm saying? I can't get there, man. I used to learn, nigga. I didn't play no motherfucking games. It make you get everything. You got to have gloves, motherfucking scarf, motherfucking hat. You motherfucker hat. Man, I had them goddamn, man. I didn't play no games. I went and got me a Pelly, one of them big ass goose motherfucking jackets. That motherfucker cost me about $350, man. That motherfucker kept me warm. Nigga, I put the motherfucking long johns on, nigga. You understand? I ain't playing no games. When I hit that motherfucker outside, I'm prepared. Other than that, I'm not going out there, nigga. Real talk. I'm not going out there. That's how it be. And it didn't got warmer. But when I was younger, nigga, you see what I'm saying? Like, for real, nigga. I done seen some winter storms, man, where nigga, they shut the schools down, nigga, for real. They shut the motherfucking schools down. They don't really have that type of snow today like they did back then, because we used to have to get out there and shovel that shit. You know what I'm saying? For real, it was snow like once November hit, nigga, right around Thanksgiving, it's snowing. You understand? That shit coming down in the D. You see what I'm saying? That shit coming down in the D. It's coming down. Today, you know what I'm saying? When it snow, it'll hit the ground. It'll melt. You see what I'm saying? Man, the blizzard of 19. I remember if that was that 1996? I remember when did my cousin pass? Man, that might have been, man, the goddamn snow was so high. Man, you couldn't, from the street, you couldn't even see the porch. You see what I'm saying? I had to go out there with the snow blower, man. It took me damn near 4 hours. Yeah, I remember that shit, man. It was cold. It was fucked up. That was a really trying time. Cause I had lost my cousin during that storm, man. You know what I'm saying? Some bullshit happened, man. And I lost my cousin during that storm, right around that time. He wasn't even in when that storm hit them. He wasn't even in the ground yet. I was out there and I had to get up. I remember I was feeling sick as hell because I'm dealing with this bullshit. And I had to get out there. I know family was coming over to visit and shit, man, because of the dumb shit. And I had to get out there and blow all that goddamn snow out of there, man. And when I blew it, I had to blow it out the street. And the damn snow piles was so fucking high. You couldn't even see the fucking house. The porch, you know what I'm saying? You could see the roof, but that shit was up there, man. It had to be at least, man, it had to be at least, man, it had to be at least 8-9 feet of snow. It had to be. It had to been at least 8 or 9 feet of snow on, piled up. And I remember like, God damn, I ain't never seen it. It all came down like in like, what was it? Like 7 hours. It just snowed. It just fell within like 7-8 hours. It just hell of snow was falling and shit all this goddamn once. It shut Detroit down. Straight up. They call it a state of a fucking emergency and shit. And then it froze. You see, I know how that shit get. You get them cars that go through that motherfucking snow, and then they put them grooves in there. If you do not get that shit out of there while it's soft, man, when that shit freeze up and them grooves didn't froze, nigga, you not getting through that shit. So I knew, I say, man, let me get this shit up out of here, man. You see what I'm saying? Man, once them grooves freeze and them cars come through there, nigga, a goddamn Hummer ain't gonna get through that bitch. I'm telling you. Yeah, it was a wild time. But anyway, family, take that, do your science, man. And we tired of these niggas fabricating this information. You see, we tired of niggas fabricating this information. And that's exactly what they doing. But anyway, family, appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna move to the next video, man. This is General Sarah Seti. Get over there to Patreon. You feel me? We got that work over there. KingSeti.com. Check out the 24-hour live streams. I updated it just yesterday. Both General Seti, Sarah Seti. You're not gonna see the same videos on the same page, and so both highlighting the fucking holidays, and man, it's off the motherfucking chain. But anyway, family, I'll see y'all black here in a minute. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.